Hello everybody. Several different levels and types of astrological service are available through my astrological services page. If you're interested in scheduling with me, you can do that easily through the link that you'll find above. So make it a point of pride if you really have to, but be aware of the consequences, right? You can be proud at the present moment and go, you have crossed that line, you have gone one step too far, or you can recognize that, hey, regardless of me feeling this or regardless of me being upset about this particular situation, I'm going to need to either keep working with this person or keep working with this situation for at least a little bit of time to come. Rahu on the 10th of March is going to be shifting into Rohini Nakshatra, where it will join with Mars. When Rahu and Mars come together, quite often conflagrations, intensity, power struggles, conflicts, those are commonplace. On the grander scale, you can probably look to see things in the media, fights that people are taking public and having a tit for tat in the media, as I'm sure most of you are thinking of the concept of the royal family right now, but maybe even more things like other than that, right? But on the personal front, you're likely finding yourself in a situation where you feel like something or someone that is very important to you has been, infringed upon, violated, not treated fairly, or perhaps something that's a very sensitive point for you has been completely ignored, and you've been dealing with this for far too long and have a lot of pent-up anger. And as you should, because hey, at the end of the day, anger really is righteous, just as any other emotion is. It's mainly how we deal with that anger that makes all the difference in the world. Now, before we go into talking a little bit further about this, I quite often get flooded with questions about people going, okay, well, I thought Rahu was in this nakshatra, or I thought Rahu shifted here already. I use a special calculation for the nakshatras that works with the pole star and the equator. In addition to that, the nodes can be calculated in a few different ways. So this may not match up with some of the ways that you have interpreted things, but I found this set of calculations to be highly accurate. Now that we got the technical mumbo jumbo out of the way and headed off all those comments in the comment section below, before people have a chance to do it, let's get back to talking about this, right? So do you want to make this a point of pride? So if you do that, who is it really going to help, right? So you're thinking probably, well, it's going to help me because I've been holding this inside of myself for far too long, and I don't really feel like I can hold this inside anymore. It's just eating me up from the inside out and just driving my life absolutely crazy, right? But if you push that just a step too far, guess what's going to happen on the other side? The other person's going to have a line in the sand just as firm as yours is, and they're going to go, well, you've crossed that line on the other side, right? And then you're going to have one party trying to gain the upper hand in that situation and the other party trying to dominate themselves over that person, and escalation higher and higher and higher until, right, it goes right through the roof. Right? And when explosions like that happen, there's usually quite a lot of fallout to deal with. Now, that being the case, you can't keep things inside of yourself, right? You can't hold on to things. If somebody's gone a step too far, well, you do kind of need to let them know. But you need to find creative and constructive ways of dealing with that, right? Because in the situation that you're coping with, there's someone that you're likely going to find yourself having to work with in regards to whatever situation it is that you're involved in for a good bit of time to come. So see if you can find a better way to deal with it. Be firm about your boundaries. Express things that you perhaps didn't appreciate, but equally be willing to listen to what's going to be said back to you from the other side. And also be cautious how much oomph is behind your words. And I think you know what I mean. I think you get the fact that if you voice what you're needing to voice with too much intensity, too much aggression, and too much passion, it's going to cause likely someone to strike back. And then you're going to be on the defensive, and then you're going to strike back, and they're going to be on the defensive, and you'll have volley upon volley, and you're not going to end up in a good situation at all. Now, after Mars finishes with its transit through Rohini Nakshatra, which it's going to be conjuncting Rahu in Rohini Nakshatra all the way up until the 29th of March, Mars is going to be shifting into Mrigashira Nakshatra. When that happens, you're likely going to find yourself having to reconnect threads of this situation, coming back together, trying to find a solution. And if you blow the whole thing open, chances are, rather than being able to kind of bring things back together, you're likely going to find yourself picking up the pieces. Now, the question is, how important is it to you at the present moment to keep this connection together? I get the feeling that it probably is, but remember that, you may be acting from a space of pride. You may be kind of going, well, hey, this is not giving me the capacity to voice the things that I truly feel. This other person, they're not supporting me. They're not giving me what I need in this situation, and they're not respecting me as an individual. But keep in mind, you're not the only one who's experiencing this Mars-Rahu conjunction. The other side is too. So be proud and go it alone if you choose to do so. But be willing to accept the consequences, right? Be willing to accept that you may be stuck with the situation that you're going to have to put together and piece together all by yourself. You may be absolutely fine with that. But if you're not, and you recognize that you're going to need a little bit of help with this, be willing to be aware of how strongly and how passionately you convey yourself. If you could use a little bit of help with this scenario, again, I should mention that I do offer several different levels of astrological service. These are available through the astrological services page of my website. And if you're interested in scheduling with me, you can do that through the link above. That's going to do it for this look at Mars and Rahu conjuncting each other in Rohini Nakshatra from the 10th of March to the 29th of March, 2021. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.